Into the Ascalon Club we go. Oh, yeah. I mean, this has been building up pretty much the whole game. You know, you learn about these people early on and kind of their secret machinations that they have. But it's not until, you know, I'd say about 3/4 of the game that you finally get a peek behind the curtain to see what they're all about. And there's some real slimy folks in here. Not to be trusted. Not to be trusted. Be careful, Jonathan. Oh.
Do you know where you are standing right now?
Unfortunately.
In front of the Ascalon Club, I presume.
The Ascalon Club only summons or ostracizes. What is your business?
You were told to come here.
I received an invitation. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Welcome to the Ascalon
Ugh.
Club, then, Dr. Reed. Please proceed. Lord Redgrave is
You are
waiting
really
on
not
you
hiding
upstairs.
your vampire status, huh? I see you guys have had a bit of a tussle in here. It seems Bruin folks have made their way in. Looks like they didn't get too far, though.
Quite a battle here.
If you don't mind, I'm just
I'm
gonna.
sure the
you know.
Ascalon Club has the money to replace the furniture.
Yeah, it definitely looks like that.
Welcome to the Ascalon Club, then, Dr. Reed.
Yeah, it seems like you guys took care of them, no problem. I mean, if one place should be fortified against vampire hunters, it would probably be a secret vampire hideout. I love how nonchalantly they're just like leaving everything around. It's like, you know, we'll dispose of their bodies eventually. That's a tomorrow problem. Do a little scan around just to see if there's anything worth picking up. No, I'm actually kind of surprised. Oh man, there's so much to explore in here. I mean, they're absolutely horrible people, but they got a pretty cool hideout. One that we are going to pick clean. You know, and then sprinkle it among the different shops in town. Jonathan is just way into redistributing vampire ill-gotten goods. And yeah, this place, they have a look, an atmosphere that they're going for. Oh.
Good evening. We repel the intruders for now.
Hello? I have an invitation. Oh.
My good friends, if I may have your attention. Behold our visitor, the good Dr. Reed. Newborn of blood so pure and strong that even my friend Fergal Bancher was no match for him.
I'm not psyched about meeting you guys. You did send Fergal after us.
Come forward,
you know,
young Ekon, for we have so much to
At least you gave him the okay to try to murder us.
Welcome to the Ascalon Club, Dr. Reed. I am Lord Redgrave, Earl of Bristol and chairman of this exclusive association.
Lord Redgrave.
At last we meet. I've been eager to make your acquaintance. I've heard some astounding things about you.
Oh, have you now?
Please accept my condolences for your loss, Dr. Reed.
You know, you don't
Thank
seem
you,
someone who's
my
big on sincerity.
Lady Ashbury expressed your wish to meet me.
Yes. The lady has always been a useful acquaintance, though not always reliable. Is she a good friend of yours?
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna be straight up honest. She's a close
She's
friend.
a close friend. And I'm honored that she feels the same about me.
Hell
The
yeah.
centuries have taught me never to trust a woman completely, especially if she is immortal.
I mean,
Too prone to
your
emotions, if you ask me.
misogyny definitely goes
Too
back
fickle when
centuries,
it
so that's no
comes to
surprise.
important decisions.
My lord, do not expect me to speak ill of
Hell
Lady
yeah.
Ashbury.
Of course not, and I praise your loyalty. Would you offer the same fidelity to the Empire?
What do you mean?
I speak of the Skull Plague that threatens London and the country. You have been on the front line in the East End.
Yes.
But the time has come to open up a second front here.
The epidemic has escaped the quarantine. You have new cases of the outbreak.
We don't know for certain.
I
But we
mean,
cannot allow the
I'm
disease
seeing
to
skulls in the
threaten
streets,
prominent
so.
heads of Great Britain.
Yeah, ooh, this is a good question. Why now, why me, or why suddenly so friendly? We know why me. It's because they value us as a icon of, you know, ancient descent. Why now? Kind of going with either why now or why so friendly. Why so friendly? Why don't we go with why now?
Why have you asked me here?
Because the crisis is escalating. Our enemies, the Garda Priwen, have even launched an open
Well,
hunt.
yes. We
The
run into
only
them
way
quite
to
a
calm
bit.
things down is to put an end to the epidemic.
You want me to find possible sources of the outbreak in the West End?
Seems pretty
Is that it?
straightforward.
Straight to the point, like all eager newborns. We shall have time to talk about all this, Dr. Reed. But first,
Yeah, it's hard to know, you know, if
I
you're
should
living
like
for
to get to know you
centuries.
better.
Talk?
Hey, welcome back,
Is that
Karuna.
the only reason you asked me here?
Well, no. I also wanted to meet the intriguing Ekon who made such a powerful progeny of his sister. You have not learned the name of your
Not
maker,
yet, at least.
Am I correct?
Oh, I'm doing great today. How about yourself, Karuna? Ooh. No, I don't. It's no concern of yours, or don't speak about my family. Let's go with no, I don't.
No, I haven't.
Not
Have
yet, at
no
least.
embarrassment, Dr. Reed. We all make mistakes. But
Bit tired
your
today, Karuna?
lineage, you are definitely
Another,
Ascalon material.
Another long,
What do you mean?
I would
trip
like
to
you
work,
to become a member
or just
of the
generally
Ascalon
tired?
Club, and to serve me as such.
Ooh. I have questions.
Before I accept, I have so many questions.
Yeah.
Please ask.
Ooh. Yeah, long days this week? Yeah. Well, you know, just chill out. Relax. Well, let the power of Jonathan Reed wash over you. Ooh, what does his membership imply?
What does it mean to be a member of the Ascalon Club?
It means that you swear to protect the interests of the crown, that you become a loyal servant of the British Empire.
I'm not super keen on this.
Do you have any official recognition from the government?
Yeah.
A
Does the
charter
royal
from His
family have
Majesty the King?
No.
a signed document?
Of course, the Ascalon Club publicly supports the Empire, but the true nature of its members remains a secret.
I mean, you'd think people would notice that maybe your members don't have a high turnover.
Am I supposed to follow orders?
As founder and chairman of the club, I alone am entitled to make demands of our members, and I do appreciate obedience.
I'm not into this dude at all.
What is the Ascalon Club's express purpose?
We follow the credo of William Marshall, the
Very
greatest knight
vague.
who ever lived. As was he, we are sworn to protect the British Empire.
That's such like a yeah, exactly. Like, what does that exactly entail?
What does Ascalon mean?
Ascalon
If it's just
was
up to the whims
lance
of the-
wielded
the-
by
the
St.
founder,
George,
then.
glorious patron saint of England when he slew the dragon.
I'm not a big
Like that lance,
believer in that.
we
It's basically
pierce
a
the
monarchy
hearts
within a
of all Our
monarchy.
nation's enemies.
William Marshall founded the Ascalon Club.
Not exactly. William Marshall granted me
Of
immortality, and I founded the club a few years later.
Do you have any proof of that?
The good knight has been gone for so long.
I
And,
killed Fergal.
yeah, exactly.
Claimed to be one of yours. Sent to cleanse the East End of all skulls. Will his death be an issue?
Do not worry. My priorities have changed.
Again,
Fergal was
the
a
fact that he's
zealous
so
servant
willingly
of mine,
to
but like any
forget about
servant,
that
he had his
means that he doesn't really have
limitations
any
and is
particular
regularly
care for a
placed in
member,
their
as long as
vicinity.
someone more powerful comes along. I don't want to consent to join. I wish there was a no thank you.
I agree to join the club.
This is good news. Good news indeed in these crucial times. Let's inform the Assembly formally and proceed with your initiation.
My initiation.
Fear not. Nothing fancy nor dangerous. It is just
Don't
that
trust
we,
these
the
assholes.
members of Ascalon, believe that tradition and custom are the backbone of this country.
No.
My fellow members, dear friends, please gather and welcome this Ekon as one of our own.
Is he worthy? Is his blood pure?
Ugh. So gross.
Well, speak, Dr. Reed, in front of the most sacred blood. The
Oh yeah,
blood
they
of
keep
our
a little bit
beloved
of William Marshall
Speak
right now.
Will you serve and protect the crown as he did?
Yes. I
Oh,
will.
Jonathan. You're making bad life
Then,
choices.
young Ekon, it is time to testify with your blood. It is time to sign the Book of Allegiance. I know it's awfully gothic and a tad pedantic, but England's traditions are the backbone of our nation.
Oh, don't believe them. Jonathan. You're making bad choices. What would Lady Ashbury say? No. Oh god, this guy is so gross.
Welcome to the Ascalon Club, Dr. Reed. Take your place among the bearers of the lance.
One of us! One of us!
Ugh. I don't like any of these guys. Alright, now we can talk with him. These are like the first people we've encountered who's actually like Jonathan's height.
And I spotted at least 2 foreign Ekons. This is an outrage. We shall chase these intruders down.
You guys are terrible.
I was chased by a gigantic
That
Valkyr
went
2
well,
nights
did it
ago.
not? It is always useful to bolster the troops' morale, especially before a difficult battle.
You have the makings of a general, my lord.
I was, though very long ago, well, not quite a general, but a proud defender of the crown.
So why did you really want to meet?
Exactly.
Straight to the point again, young Ekon. All right, let's talk, you and I, Lance Bearer.
I'm listening, my lord.
According to my spies, you have worked with Dr. Edgar Swansea
Yes,
on
that's
the
true.
epidemic, and your findings were quite alarming.
Ooh. So you're aware of Edgar Swansea. You are also aware that he has a thing for you guys, right?
Do you know Edgar Swansea?
Not personally, but I've been told he has
Oh,
some
okay,
sort
yes,
of
good.
immortal fetish,
Yep.
and is a good friend of yours.
Both
Does
of
it
those
bother
things
you
are true.
that I consider him my good friend.
As long as you reveal nothing of the club's inner workings, why should I forbid you engaging in conversation with the good Dr. Swansea?
You were spying on me.
I mean,
Not
they're spying on
personally.
everyone.
I rarely leave this building. But once he found you, Fergal kept me informed. Until you put an end to his mission.
Well, you know.
Who
And,
was
and who
Fergal?
was he, man?
I don't see him sipping tea with the others.
Yeah, where did the big boys hang out?
Fergal Bansher was my squire of sorts. Even before becoming that magnificent beast, he was a brute. He served me well for decades.
And you don't really
No, I
respect
mean,
any of the
what
people
was
under
he?
you.
He was clearly no ordinary vampire.
No, he was a Volcod. All muscles and instinct. Quite the rare breed. Ferociously territorial. Mortals often mistake them for werewolves.
Hold on, so you are also aware that werewolves are a thing.
You do know I killed him.
Yes.
Will you bear ill will towards me for his death?
Of course not. Your victory was quite
Again,
impressive.
this
and
guy does not
courageous.
seem to care. As long as someone more
You
powerful
earned
comes
my
in,
respect.
like, that should not give anyone confidence. Well, we have learned this.
Yes, I'm convinced the recent invasion of frenzied Scals in London is directly linked to the epidemic. This is not the Spanish flu, but something
I
else.
mean, it seems like it's
I would
both.
be glad to hear more of your discoveries, Dr. Reed, but for now, my main concern is the security of London's inhabitants, both mortal and immortal.
Are you,
What do
though?
you mean?
Alarmed by the epidemic, the Guard of Priwen has started a war against us British vampires. To appease the situation, we must eradicate the Scowls.
Well, that can't happen. I mean, Scowls are peaceful, and they are victims. We have learned that about the Skulls. So I don't know. How do we want to approach this? Oh man. I mean, some Skulls
I have
are
met
peaceful.
peaceful and wise Scals. To exterminate them
Exactly.
means we are no better than vampire
Yeah.
hunters.
Scowls are hideous, shameful creatures that give all Ekon a bad name.
No way,
So,
dude.
What do you want me to do?
I want you to investigate the city thoroughly. I have reason to fear there are cases of contagion in this part of town. Our absolute priority is to find and cleanse them.
And how would you like me to proceed?
By all means necessary, Dr. Reed. You are now a member of the Ascalon Club and you have carte blanche. Interrogate the locals, follow all the leads
I
you
mean,
find.
we've been doing that
and
anyway,
get
but
results.
okay. Ah. Our mesmerized level went up finally. Well, now we can go talk with Venus. I don't trust these guys one bit. What about you, buddy? What's your story?
Good evening, Dr. Reed. How does it feel to be this evening's centerpiece? Figuratively.
No, I don't like it.
I feel like the newcomer, and I do not like it at all.
Do not be alarmed. The Ascalon Club has a tried and tested policy for choosing its initiates.
May I ask who you are, sir?
Why would you be interested?
Well,
I mean,
as
you
you
seem interested
to
in
be
me.
the only man in the room with a beating heart, you draw quite a bit of attention yourself.
Ah, vampire senses never cease to fascinate me. They dwarf those of mere mortals. I am Aloysius Dawson.
Oh, we've heard about you. Well, let's see. Are you a club member?
Are you a member of the club?
Yes, I am. And I have been for many years. And will be until the day I die.
Well, what can you tell me?
Tell me about it?
From a mortal
It's
perspective.
not really my place to give you such information. I am merely a mortal member.
All right, but I want your
And a
perspective.
dying one at that.
Are you
Are
sick?
you sick?
Personally, I consider my advancing years are a sickness in itself.
I mean, fair.
My body is slowly abandoning me, Dr. Reed.
Okay. Are you not afraid of all these vampires? I guess, you're kind of like the liaison to the mortals, so maybe not.
Are you not afraid? You are surrounded by vampires.
Sir, it's for that very reason that I joined the club in the first place.
So this club obviously isn't a secret, but maybe the fact that they're vampires is
Is
maybe
the
not the
nature
most
of this
well-known
club A
fact.
secret shared by only a privileged few.
My dear Dr. Reed, I have spent years and a fortune precisely to gather that kind of information.
Have you... So how did you ask for a membership?
So you asked for membership.
I have been a member of many clubs in many countries. But I must admit, this one is my favorite.
Okay. What can you tell me about the big boss?
What can you tell me about Lord Redgrave?
I would not dare speak of our chairman without his consent.
I mean, okay. I feel like we're a member, but, Well,
Mr.
you're famous.
Of Dawson and Dawson. The wealthiest man in England. It is a pleasure to meet such a prominent figure of London.
A withering London figurehead, to be precise.
Are you sick, Mr. Dawson? I am a doctor, you know.
My case is beyond the scope of traditional medicine. I have spent fortunes on the world's most competent doctors to arrive at that
Of course you have.
conclusion.
I'm sorry to hear that, sir. Should I suppose that you're here in search of some form of immortality?
You would think that's why he's
Absolutely
interested.
not. I'm here to implement my plan to save the city I was born in.
Oh
To
my.
cast out the ghastly evil that has us all on our knees.
What can you tell me about the Guard of Prywin?
What do you know about the Guard of Prewin?
I should not say this, but I admire their commitment. This is what the nation needs right now.
Ooh. But they're kind of the enemies of all vampires.
But they are our enemies.
Kind of by
They are
nature.
not mine, Dr. Reed.
But I feel like there's a contradiction here. You're a member of this club. They are vowed to destroying this club.
Will you help them?
No. There is a time for such methods. But brute force will not be enough to fight this plague. We have to think differently.
Okay. And what about the situation in the West End? You know,
What is
the
the
vampire
situation
thing.
like in this part of town?
I am sure Lord Redgrave will enlighten you more effectively than I.
Man, you really don't have anything to say.
Money cannot solve every problem. This
Ain't that the truth?
mysterious epidemic is going to require more than money can buy.
You're right. Money is nothing unless one has the will to wield it. I have a plan, sir.
Uh-huh.
A radical one that will save all that is essential in London.
What is your plan?
Yeah, you keep going on about
Quarantine
this.
and barricades are futile.
Oh.
What we need is a wall. A formidable, unscalable wall to isolate the deserving
Okay,
from the
buddy.
infected masses.
That never works. It's dangerous, it's unfair, it's definitely not efficient. Unfair or dangerous? I mean, it's unfair.
But that would segregate the rich from the poor, would it not? It would be unjust.
Our only course of action must be to save
There is no...
England.
What are you
And
talking
to
about? You just
save
want to save
England,
your
we have
personal
to make
assets.
sacrifices.
Are you not mistaking sacrifice for summary execution?
Why do you care? Are you not a vampire? Removed from all
But it's
mortal
about empathy,
concerns.
you asshole.
Decisiveness is what the city needs, and it needs it now.
Oh, this guy is so full of shit.
Skulls have
Welcome
been
to
spotted
the
everywhere in
Ascalon
London.
Club, Doctor.
We are losing this fight.
Well, what else can we get from you?
How's your investigation going,
I have a few...
All right.
Ooh, tell me about Aloysius.
May I ask you about the mortal who attended my initiation? Mr. Aloysius Dawson.
Yes,
a member of the
Aloysius, sorry.
club does not normally ask questions about other members. We trust each other mutually.
But I feel like that kind of means that it's very easy to be a bad actor within the group.
So he really is a member then?
Indeed. Only the most
Hey,
eminent
welcome
members
back,
are allowed
Sammy.
to attend
How you
such
doing today?
ceremonies. Even if I admit some of us fled during the first hours of the Great Hunt.
But
He
Mr.
is mortal.
Dawson is mortal.
I mean, I imagine you also
Are
want to
you
have
not afraid he might
liaisons, you know,
reveal who you are?
ambassadors.
Especially to your enemies.
Aloysius Dawson is a man of his word.
Yeah, I'm doing
as
pretty
are all
good
of us.
today.
This is the Ascalon Club, Dr. Reed. We do not grant access to the unworthy.
I think this place is only filled with the unworthy. Well, what can you tell me about your
You made
maker?
me swear on the blood of William Marshall during my initiation ceremony. Why was that?
William Marshall was the most glorious knight who ever lived.
I mean, it would be kind of cool
He
to see
served
this guy in
5
action.
kings, and was a living example of probity for all. And he was my maker.
So why is his blood, you basically treat it as like a holy object?
Why is his blood so sacred to the Ascalon Club?
He was simply the greatest defender of the realm we have ever known. I fought by his side at the Battle of Preston, and he made me his progeny following the fight.
So he was definitely a vampire.
William Marshall was a vampire. Is this some
I
sort
mean,
of
vampires
joke?
go pretty far back.
Wait. Could he be my maker?
That would be joyful news, for it would mean he still walks among us.
I mean, the problem is he's kind of just
But
blood.
alas, the great knight has left this world for good.
Everyone, Again, Jonathan Reed has the ultimate daddy issues. Every time he runs across any new person, he's like, "Are you my dad?"
What can you tell me about the Great Hunt?
It's a major concern, and I'm convinced we'll only get a satisfactory conclusion by putting an end to the epidemic.
Ooh. Yeah.
I have already met Geoffrey McCullum. I am certain he will persist until
He just wants a dad so bad.
The Guards.
I mean, it probably comes from the fact that it actually makes sense in the story because Jonathan Reed's actual father disappeared on him.
So without the epidemic creating scowls, the Guard could not convince anybody of our presence.
Exactly. Once we have put the epidemic behind us, we need only wait until the Guard grows old and weak. Time will once
I mean, that's the
again
advantage of
become
being
our
immortal,
ally.
right? Is that, you know, you can kind of wait out your enemy.
What about the risk of a full-scale attack here? Geoffrey McCullum is a daring leader.
That is exactly why so many of our number have left the country until things improve.
I mean,
But not me.
I was going to say, this seems like the
found
place
it.
of powerful
I'll
vampires.
die defending it.
All right.
Goodbye, Lord Redgrave.
Godspeed, Dr. Reed.
Ugh.
We are counting.
The fact that we have at least temporarily joined this club is not very fun. Now, I feel like I remember that there's like a weapon we can pick up in here too, but I don't remember where it is. Oh, there it is. Good dagger. What we got here? Good dagger. Details. So yeah, this is just damage and in blood. Yeah. So this is just a better version of like the listed knife. If I remember correctly, like this thing, yeah, this thing is already better. But we already got our sick-ass perfect hacksaw. And, oh, we're so close. We only need one more tiny good handle part. All right, there's definitely more to explore around here. I mean, I definitely want to take a good look through this place before we head out. Unfortunately, I know there's a basement to this building, but I forget how we get there. We may have stepped outside. Well, we'll head back in if we went outside. Oh, yeah. The Ascalon Club is not a place that we want to be a part of. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a basement to this place. I thought there is. Maybe I'm thinking of a different building. Yeah, well, we'll have to investigate. I think we may have went outside because this load time is hell of long. Come on, game. Chug-a-lug. It's actually funny. I'm pretty sure there have been tests on both the Xbox One platform and the PlayStation 4 platform where if you actually load games onto an external hard drive, even just an external hard drive, not even like just like an external SSD, it actually loads faster. Well, I think we can now...
I think Lord Redgrave just suggested I was sired by an ancient vampire.
Yeah, Jonathan. I think everyone has been suggesting that. All right, let's head back in. I'm pretty sure there's a basement in here. That was one place we didn't even look. But yeah, I'm pretty sure on both the PlayStation 4, the Xbox One, One X, and all that, if you load games onto an external USB drive, it is actually faster at loading the game from the internal drive. It's mainly because the internal drive runs off of like what is now an ancient standard of SATA 2. Like that was, I remember when the PlayStation 4 launched, it was I would say at least a mild disappointment that the internal connection was SATA 2 instead of SATA 3, because it basically meant that SSDs would never make a difference if you installed one on the internal system. And it's also, you know, why the jump to the next generation of, you know, SSDs is such a big difference.
It's locked all
Yeah, I
right.
think this is the basement. I'm pretty sure. I just don't remember where we get the key. I know it's like around. Ooh. History and purpose of the Ascalon Club. The Ascalon Club is an association of gentlemen secretly aiming for the protection of the crown's interests. I founded it in 1837 to honor and perpetuate the legacy of my maker, William Marshall, 1st Earl of Pembroke and true protector of England. All the members of the club must be of good extraction and flawless moral fiber. I highly doubt that. Since the club accepts mortal members, who will be duly observed and valued as proper candidates for immortality, the goal of the club is to impose respectable traditions and behaviors amongst the good vampire society, but also to promote and expand the imperial hegemony of England. We are the true elite of British society. We are Ascalon, the Holy Lance held by St. George, protector of England when the saints slew the dragon. As lance bearers ourselves, we vow to defend the Empire's interests. From the Law of Ascalon. I mean, yeah, unfortunately, the hard drive situation on the old generation of, man, it's so weird. Now all of these consoles are now the old generation. Or I guess have we yet transitioned to the point where the PlayStation 5 and the Series, Xbox Series are now next gen, or are they now current gen? Ah, there we go. I knew it was around here somewhere. Yeah, for me, they're still next gen. I guess that transition usually happens around like 1 year after launch. Usually people then go, it's like, oh yeah, this is the current generation. Because right now it's still got that next gen smell. Got like that new upholstery scent all over it. All right, so I'm pretty sure this is the key to the basement. Ah, see, yep, open. Love to see it. Now, I don't remember what we... Oh, no, yeah. Surprised they don't have, like, a cooler down here, just with, like, you know, blood packs. Anything. Ah, there we go. Of the recreational use of blood. Because remember, it gives them, like, a state of ecstasy. Oh, you've never been in here? Oh, that's a fun new space then. As Ascalon members, we always tend to respect etiquette. We are, in all ways, members of the good society, sometimes recognized as public figures. We do not find our delight in orgies and bloodbath, like our adversaries assert we do. And if one of us were caught in such caricatured and immoral act, he would receive the appropriate opprobrium? I've never heard that word before. But what about the blood? What about its recreational use? How can we deny the ecstasy the vermilion ambrosia brings us? And with what else could we toast with, as any good fraternity should? To answer this delicate question, the law of conduct inside the club goes as follows. As long as the original mortal vessel is not brought inside our walls, each member is allowed to drink whatever he wants, for his own usage or to share it with friends. Drink what you want, deal the way you want with the original vessel, but never inside the club, unless I personally authorize it on some special occasion, of course. That seems like very arbitrary. We're okay with you murdering people indiscriminately for blood, but just don't do it within the walls. That's it. Yeah, I think that's pretty much the only thing we get down here. Just a little extra tidbit about the club. Yeah, I think that's it. Ooh, Jonathan? Steps, please. All right, let's get to questioning. We have a lot of people to talk to. And now we have Mesmerize 4, so we should be able to get into the Home with Venus in it. The wife of our friend from before the war. You guys are going to clean this up, right? Like, I don't need to be a part of this?
Welcome to the Ascalon.
Uh-huh.
Then, Dr.
Okay. Out we go. Into the world. What do you call super old Sammy? Oh, is this like a riddle? All right, so we took care of everything we need to, I think, at least in the time being, the Ascalon Club. Yeah, the thing I'm also really interested in is what they do, what Nintendo does. You know, obviously this is a huge jump in performance compared to, you know, the PlayStation 4, the Xbox One, and all that. And the Switch was like barely scraping by with the ports from those systems. Like, it was pretty cool, actually. Like, seeing the kind of stuff that people have been able to bring to the Switch, despite it being, you know, essentially a portable system.
Why can't I forgive you, Father?
Okay, so we got all sorts of people to talk to around here. We also, there's an area over here we haven't explored yet. It's one of the few areas that we haven't actually gone into. We've explored pretty much most of the map. Ooh, now the Super Nintendo. That is like, I think the Super Nintendo and the PlayStation 2 are probably the two in contention for the greatest console of all time. And that kind of, I think, more than anything, just falls to which one do you have more nostalgia for? We have new conversation with Swansea. Ooh, do we want to do that now? Well, why don't we go check out the merchant? Oh, I wish I still had my original PlayStation 1. For a long time, I've like wanted to put together like a PlayStation family, because I still have my PlayStation 3 and my obviously my PlayStation 4. But I would love to get a PlayStation 1 and 2. Ooh. Well, let's see if
I may have a look at your goods, Mr. Russell.
this has changed your would love. Ooh, no, that's a trigger part. God damn it. I was so hoping you would have
Good
a
evening,
restock.
Dr. Reed. A great night, what?
Okay, we don't have another hint for him. Tell me about, have you seen any epidemic sources around here?
District. Have you noticed
Specifically
anything
people maybe with glowing eyes?
Wait, now that you mention it, I don't see the McPhersons in my favorite restaurants. They love delicate meals too, you understand.
Thank you. It may be nothing, but I'll investigate it.
Hey!
Where do they
Welcome
live?
back,
They have
Nicholas.
a house in the southern part of the district, somewhere north of the railway bridge. There is a courtyard, if I remember rightly.
Okay. You're looking otherwise healthy? All right.
Goodbye, Mr. Russell.
Talk to you later.
I'm sure you'll take care of yourself.
Oh, what stops me from doing it? It's basically like a combination of things. One, don't have room for it in my like entertainment setup. And two, the way I have all the stuff plugged in would mean I'd have to rewire everything on top of maybe getting additional hardware to make it possible. Can we talk to you? I think we can talk to you.
We meet again, Mr. Kimura.
Yeah.
In a more peaceful
Yeah.
Dr. Reed, still visiting London by night?
We must both be nocturnal animals, you and I.
You know.
After your captivity, I thought you'd be more cautious.
Breathing the cold night air helps calm
I get
my
that.
mind, sir. I've had the most frightening nightmares since I escaped that filthy jail.
Well, I'm glad to see you're okay. Well, let's
Do you
ask how
need
you're
medical
feeling.
assistance, sir?
You've already helped me enough, Dr. Reed.
All right, good to know. Ooh. Well, what do you do for a living,
May I
buddy?
ask you what
Tell
you
me about
do for a
yourself.
living, Mr. Kimura?
I was a landlord. A wealthy one.
Uh-huh.
And not a very kind one.
Kind
I
of
realized
goes in
recently.
hand in
Why
hand with
this
being a
sudden
landlord,
epiphany?
though.
Is it because of your near-death experience?
I was already feeling nostalgic about Weymouth, my hometown. With recent events, I'm thinking about going back there.
I don't blame you. Well, tell me about the neighborhood. Have you seen anything odd?
How is the situation in the West End?
I've heard rumors about armed men patrolling and fighting infected citizens in these very
Yes.
streets. I was
Those are
lucky
true
they didn't
things.
shoot me when I was abducted.
Okay. Well, ooh. So it seems like you're a little nostalgic.
Why are you so nostalgic for your hometown today?
Other than the fact that it
I
isn't
was
filled with
focused so
vampire
much on
and
making
vampire
money,
hunter battles.
I almost forgot that my relatives and friends are threatened by this epidemic.
Ooh. Well, Well, tell me about your family then.
Have you heard anything from your family?
I was not only a bad landlord, I was also a bad husband.
What?
I've not seen my wife
Surprise,
and son for
surprise.
years. Busy, busy, busy.
At least now you're ready
Okay.
to go back and see them. But don't be surprised if your son bears a grudge, sir.
You make it sound like you
Jonathan,
suffered from an absent
master
father
of daddy
yourself,
issues,
Dr. Reed.
giving good advice.
Well, I'll keep your warning in mind.
Have you no friends at all?
Over the years, I'm afraid my greed turned me into my friend's
What?
adversary, while I became friends with my professional rivals.
Are you telling me greed
Those you grew up
and
with
wealth
didn't
blackens the
share
heart?
your
Surprise,
views on women's
surprise.
success.
Would you believe I was once a member of poetry circles and an astronomy club? We were young, such joyful dreamers then. But I stopped laughing.
Maybe go back to your
long ago.
hometown. Live a simpler life. Maybe that'll help you.
Can you change? And
I
is
mean,
it
I
what
believe
you
people
really
can
want?
change.
If so, it must come from within, not without.
I've seen what an altruistic gesture can do. Nothing forced you to save me, Dr. Reed, but you did.
See, we're setting a good
I will
example.
follow your example in these matters from now on.
Ooh. Well, you know what? Let's be humble about it.
There is no need to thank me. Rescuing a London citizen should not be out of the ordinary. But I'm afraid
I
it
mean,
may
this is
appear so
definitely a
in
desperate
different
time.
times.
You did not only rescue me, you fought for me. You put your life in danger to save me. That's
I
quite
mean,
extraordinary.
I guess
How
you
will
don't
you
really know the
cope
full
if you're
scope of.
attacked again?
I don't know. I've heard about these men and women who patrol the West End every night, chasing criminals like my abductor.
No.
Maybe I should join them.
No. Do not join them. Ooh, we almost have all of his hints. Well, tell me about your abduction.
What can you tell me about your abduction?
If you really want to know, I was locked in that building for 3 or 4 days.
Ooh.
My jailer was insane, mumbling about sacrifice and
Well, I
voices.
mean, everyone's a little off their game. And also, yeah, were they waiting for something?
And why didn't he sacrifice you?
That was the
Oh, it
weirdest
would be
part.
so
He
dramatic.
claimed to spill blood was not enough. It had to be done when some stars were aligned.
Oh, it always
Red
seems
stars.
like that.
That's the whole point. He wanted me to talk to him about some Red
Ah,
Queen configuration.
Red
or
Queen comes about
constellation.
again.
I've never heard of such an astronomical term.
That would be pretty amazing. It's like, you know, he dons the garb of the Priwin, and then he has to fight Jonathan, and has to, you know, lay down his arms, and then
What
they,
did he
you know,
say about
hug it out.
voices?
He constantly whined about the voice of his master, ordering him to do terrible things.
Another dark
He wanted to
master.
silence the voice by offering blood. My blood.
Interesting.
Tell me,
Yeah,
Talal,
let's try to
why
dig
was
into
your
this.
abductor so interested in your passion for astronomy?
I don't know. We met a few times at the Royal Greenwich Observatory. He seemed to share my hobby. Then he invited me to his house and locked me in.
That's always a bad sign. Yeah, if you walk into someone's house and they immediately fasten like 5 locks, maybe ask to like jump out a window.
Yes.
I mean, astronomy is pretty cool.
Astronomy is a fascinating subject. When I was a child, my mother bought a small telescope. for
One of
my
my
sister and
favorite
I. We spent many a pleasant
trips that we
evening
did
stargazing.
growing up.
Stars are
Personally,
not just
there were a
dots
couple
in the
times
sky,
when, you
Doctor.
know, we would go
They are
someplace
the key to
and
our
they had
understanding of the
like a
cosmos.
proper
They
observatory
remind us
telescope
how
set up.
insignificant we are.
You're right.
It's amazing getting to look through
But
those
children
things.
love magic and stories. I remember our
Especially, you
mother
know,
told us constellations
if you're like
have
me
the
and you
power
live in
to
an area that
protect
has a lot of
Protection
light
by
pollution,
the light of the stars.
and you don't really get
That's
to
sweet.
enjoy the starry night sky all the
Do you remember
time.
the name of these constellations?
Ooh. Ooh. Let's remember our sister's constellation.
Cygnus. The constellation that was supposed to protect Mary.
Memory's a strange thing.
That's also another
I can recite
good thing to
without
keep an eye on.
hesitation
If you go up
the
to someone's
names
house
of
and
the
all
88
and half the locks are on the outside of the door,
Yet I barely remember my own
maybe don't step
childhood.
through the threshold.
Did he
And do you
fake
think he
his
was being
interest in
honest,
astronomy
or this was all just a ploy to
No.
capture you?
In his madness, he spoke about a blood sacrifice to be made to his master when the stars aligned to a specific configuration.
Okay. Another mention of this Red Queen. Very interesting. Well, always a pleasure.
Goodbye, Mr. Kimura. Take care.
Don't mind me. I'm just going through the trash while I'm here.
Connect me to this city anymore.
All right. Anything else around this side of town? Don't think so. I think we already opened this, right? Yeah, we did. Okay. Oh, I mean, that's a pretty classic one. I mean, that's the one that's featured in Silence of the Lambs, like the scene where he has the cast on his arm, and it's like, oh, can you just help me put this couch in the back of the car, and then you're in the back of that car. Oh, we need to talk to him. That's right. We have all of the materials that he needs.
Good evening, old chap. Are you all right?
I won't lie to you, Johnny. I'm not a well man.
Exactly. No, totally. Like, you would imagine for most people, if they were presented with a situation from a horror movie, they would immediately recognize that maybe they should get the hell out of there. Hey, but do you know what? Honestly, some people are just, you know, in their own little mental bubble. Well, here are the documents you wanted.
These are the documents you wanted me to look for. I think I've gathered all the available occult research about vampires.
Oh, thank you, Johnny. That'll help me separate the myths from the facts.
I'm not sure you can consider this material factual, but it's yours now. What do you intend to do with it?
First, I'm going to show them to Venus.
Oh.
It'll open her eyes and make
I
her
don't know,
understand
man.
the importance of my mission.
You might just sound 10 times crazier. All right. Well, let's go talk with Venus.
You need some rest.
Oh, actually, we should talk with him about the infection.
Good evening.
I won't.
I'm investigating the source of the epidemic in this district. Can you help me?
Infection is everywhere these days.
Yeah, I feel like in most situations, like that's like the funny part about movies like Cabin in the Woods. It's all about the fact that, like, you know, people who even like acknowledge the weirdness of like a horror movie scenario will still just be like, whatever, I'm sure it's fine.
Not enough movement. Closed doors. What is going on in there?
Cabin in the Woods is a fantastic movie if you love horror film. Because it's such like a fun send-up of all of like the, you know, the monsters and the tropes and the various, you know, classic characters. All right, so we have a first source and a second source of infection. All right, oh man, where was that house again? We passed it by. I think it's up the street this way. Just gonna poke around here just in case. And then we still have that other area up the street that we got to investigate at some point. All right, that's our house. Pretty sure her house or their house is up here. Yeah, maybe I'm mistaken. I'm trying to remember where because we did pop in to like say hello to her, but we didn't have a high enough mesmerized to convince her to let us in. No, we're looking. Ooh. No. Yeah, I'm trying to remember where we saw that door. Yeah, I mean, we also have a whole bunch more people to talk about or talk with up the street, like in this area. We haven't even like met yet. Thank you. I'm trying to remember where we saw her. Okay, yeah, so this is where... I would have swore we learned something more about Karina by going inside the Ascalon Club. I would have swore that happened, but maybe we don't get that information yet. Yeah, where's this other house? Oh, it's right here. Right? No? No, I thought it was right around here. Ah, there it is. Perfect.
Hello again, Venus.
Jonathan, you're still up. Can't you just knock at people's doors during the day?
I have appointments during the day.
I'm sure you can spare me a few minutes. For old time's sake.
Of course you may enter, Jonathan.
Oh, hell yeah.
So sorry for your loss, Jonathan.
right, well, we'll talk to her in a second. First things first, let's investigate.